This is Silvia Pavoni, investment editor with The Banker, and I'm here talking to Alejandro Valenzuela, who is CEO of Banorte, at the end of the IAF Latin American Economic Forum, which today is running alongside the IDB meeting. Alejandro, you made a really interesting presentation this morning talking about good, encouraging economic data coming from Mexico for the future. And I was wondering what are your views on the role of the banking and financial sector within the Mexican economy?
Well, the financial sector in Mexico, for the first time in many, many years, we believe it's going to be a part of the growth story because of several reasons. Perhaps the most compelling one would be that the very low level of banking penetration in Mexico allows banks to leverage their capacity to grow, whereas many other countries in the world, it's the leveraging which is going to be the way to go because of the problems they encountered. Also, Mexico today has the possibility of growing probably at a faster rate because of the rate of contraction that we went through last year. So that will allow more opportunities to develop. We have in the country a very stable macroeconomic environment, so that generates certainty for a lot of investments. And at the end of the day also, the government has been very supportive of banks to relent in the economy. It's probably going to be gradual, but we believe that the banking sector, with all the lessons that were learned in the tequila crisis in 1995, will be able to definitely support growth over the medium term.
So there are definitely some optimism at the moment, which is good to see compared to how the feeling and the mood was last year. But there still are a few inefficiencies within the Mexican banking market. Do you see a high number of players perhaps coming to the market and take advantage of these inefficiencies, both either locally or from other countries?
Well, more than inefficiencies, because obviously all the systems have inefficiencies, but what we believe is that there is going to be very interesting opportunities for other players to come along and even sometimes incentivized by the same players that today serve the Mexican market, because that will allow also to diversify risks. So our sense is that for Mexico to grow, I'm sure that the authority will invite and allow more participants to come over to help us rebuild and replenish the Mexican economy for growth over the medium term. So I think it's going to be welcome overall.
Banorte is one of the leading banks in Mexico and the only leading locally owned bank. What are your expansion plans?
Well, we will want to continue to grow mostly organically, but we believe there's going to be some opportunities over the medium term, particularly with the Sofoles, which will probably be required to be sold, and maybe other small financial intermediaries that might come to sell. Last year we bought 3 pension fund companies, which it was even under a very difficult environment because we knew we could position ourselves over the medium term. Probably in the next couple of years we will continue looking at the possibility to acquire some institutions, but as usual we'll be very conservative and we'll definitely think all these issues twice before we do them. But if there's opportunities to be done to expand the franchise, we'll do it. It's clear that also by the amount of contraction that the Mexican economy experienced last year and the pull-out of some of the banks that were very active before the crisis, Banorte was able to move from the 5th to the 3rd place in terms of loan origination and in terms of deposits. That's something which I think by itself it's a huge achievement because Banorte 17 years ago was probably one of the smallest banks in the nation. So that shows also that you can develop a bank in Mexico if you run it correctly and if you have the right kind of financial instruments to build a franchise.
Thank you very much for your time and your comments.
Thank you.